host, Sean Aaron, and welcome to Dem Bois Podcast. This show is a platform where trans men of color voices can be amplified as we share our transitional stories and many other issues that are relatable to trans men of color in our existence. This show is not only to amplify our voices, but to raise awareness and conversation around our lived experiences.
Hey, so my next guest I had the privilege to sit down with is a husband, an entrepreneur, a trans activist, and a cannabis influencer. Within this episode, we talked about, in good detail too, we talked about the cannabis industry, we talked about entrepreneurship and living life as now a Black man, identified as a Black man. This is a really good episode. I tend to say that this is a really good episode, but I think that one thing to touch on is how our stories are different, right? We're not all the same. We all have different experiences. We all have different previous lived experiences and different lives, right? We may go through the same steps to get to certain points of where we are now, right? When we think about transitioning, and this is not for everyone though, right? So to identify as being a trans man, you don't have to start T. You don't have to have top surgery. You don't have to have any gender-affirming surgery. You don't have to do none of that at all, right? But I think that folks see, if you go down that path, right, you start T, you have gender-affirming surgery, you socially transition, and we think that the end point is all the same. And that's not true, right? There are some things that are different in our stories. And so one thing about my story, like somebody listening, my story may resonate with you. And then to somebody else, my story may not resonate with you. But then for the guests, you might resonate with one guest or two guests or three guests or all of the guests, right? So it's very important that as trans men of color, we come here and we share our stories and our lived experiences, right? And so I hope that you enjoy this episode. Hey, this is Sean Aaron, the host of Dem Bois Podcast. Are you enjoying the podcast so far? Great. I'm glad that you are. Would you consider donating today to help support the continuation of this podcast? As you know, this podcast aims to serve as a platform to highlight and amplify the voices of trans men of color and share our transition stories. The podcast not only aims to amplify trans men of color voices, but it also raises awareness around our lived experiences. You would like to donate? Where can you donate? Great. I'm glad that you asked. Link in our description will take you directly to Network for Good, whom we've partnered with in order to collect donations for the podcast. Or you can visit our website. On the website, click the donate button, and from there, you are able to donate directly to the podcast. All donations are tax deductible. What does the donations go to? Oh, I'm glad that you asked. Your donation will help to support our production costs. We are working with Jasmine from Pink Lady Productions that brings you this awesome content. And also, we pay our guests an honorarium. Pay our guests an honorarium? Yes, we do. Why? Because as trans men of color, we would like to support and uplift each other and honor the time that's given out to come here and share their stories. So if you love this podcast, share and donate. See you on the next episode. Take care. Welcome to Dem Bois Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Aaron, he, him, his. My next guest is a husband, an entrepreneur, a trans activist, and a cannabis influencer. So welcome to the show.
Appreciate that, my boy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, I am Uncle Bob, sub 716, Bob, however you call me, whatever you know me as. From Buffalo, New York, upstate New York, but currently in the Carolinas. It's different out here.
Oh, I bet. I'm wondering about that. What's different about it?
It's different because, I don't know, first of all, back home, we just had that Buffalo blizzard. I'm used to the cold. They be up here it's cold. I'm like, girl, you put some shorts on. It's still a little hot outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just different. And everything's far. Everything far. Everything 30, 45 minutes. I'd be like, dang, man, I ain't trying to go nowhere. This why I keep my butt in the house.
Yeah, I hear that. So is it 35 minutes in traffic? Y'all have traffic out that way?
Yeah, definitely, I would say it's certain areas. Like I said, I don't really be out here like that. But I definitely, it's one spot. It's East Independence. It's one road. And when I say that thing be backed up like crazy, I be like, golly, I
yeah.
hate to be having to go somewhere coming up that street. Real stuff.
Yeah, I hate traffic. Traffic irritates me. It irritates
Yeah,
my spirit. I mean, I live in the
yeah.
Bay Area, so it's traffic everywhere you go, even
Oh,
if it's
you
a
in the
5 minute
Bay?
drive. Yeah, it's traffic every damn where. And it used to be a point where you could just get in the car and go. You're like, all right, I'm gonna go at 11 because that's when there ain't gonna be no traffic. That
Yeah,
time don't exist anymore. It's
you
just
know, be
traffic no
working.
matter when you go. So yeah. So it's just the weather that gets you and how far things are. What's something else that's
Yeah.
stand out that's mostly different? Nothing.
No, not really. I mean, there's some good eats out here, of course. You know, you got your Waffle House, you got Cookout, and them just some late night eats. But it ain't, I don't know. For real, I really say to myself, in all honesty, I don't really like to do too much. And I even go for when it comes to the community, like I can't tell you nothing really much
Mm,
about the community out here because I say to myself, because it be too much sometimes. And I be like, you know
I get
what?
that. Yeah.
I can't do this.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. So the name Bobby, how did that choose you?
Honestly, before I started transitioning, when I was still she, a girl came up to me in school and she was just like, "You don't look like my birth name. You look like a Bobby." And people thought that was so funny. And they actually started calling me that. Like it became like a nickname out of nowhere. And I remember when I first started transitioning, I thought I wanted my name to be Malachi. Like it was just I was all over the place. And then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be Bobby. That's who I'm going. They've been calling me this. It ain't gonna be hard for nobody to, switch over and try to remember a name. Now, 9 times out of 10, if you didn't know my legal name, you knew me as Bobby.
Mm. So she pretty much she broadcasted that your future, really. She foretold your future.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
And this was in high school. I wasn't even thinking about it. I didn't even know transition was possible
Mm.
back then.
Mm. You still talk to her?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. I
Oh.
don't. I really don't. Oh Jesus, Lord. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. It's problems. I see that face. Never mind then. Never mind. Because I was gonna say that'd be good to be like, hey, by the way, this is my name for real now. I go by
Yeah,
this, and you inspired that. But if you don't
yeah.
talk, I wouldn't even encourage it then. Leave it as
Uh-uh.
it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So tell us your transition journey from beginning to where you are right now.
Oh Jesus. I started transitioning in February of 2016. And like I said in the beginning, I didn't even know it was possible that, I knew you could go from male to female, but I did not know it was possible to go from female to male. And when I did, I'm not even say so intrigued, but I was eager to get information. I was on YouTube like crazy, Google. I'm looking up people, find them on YouTube, find them on social media to really like see the transition. And then my wife, at that time, she wasn't my wife, she was just a friend. She had someone that she knew that was really close to her. And he had started transitioning. So I had him too as like a mentor and, telling me about stuff and, things of that nature. And he's really close to me now. Like, that's like my brother. You can't tell me that's not my brother. You know what I mean? So with that, and then actually, because I was back home in Buffalo, they have a research center called Evergreen, and it's like a LGBT clinic resource center. And I went there, and I'm just like, I don't even have insurance, but I'm intrigued, and this is something I really want. They set me up with insurance, set me up with the mental health, set me up with the doctor to start hormones and get tests and all of that. And ever since then, it's been cool. I mean, you have your ups and downs when it comes to it. And in the beginning, I was very like on that roller coaster of tea because I didn't know I had to figure out my balance. I was taking like 1 ml every 2 weeks, and I would take it And when I took it, I felt great that first shot. But after them 2 weeks, it slowly started coming down. Now I'm like, oh my God, like, you know what I mean? I'm feeling it. So I had to really talk to my doctor and tell that. And then he switched me to point 0.5 every week. And it's been more of a consistent, for me, consistent flow for me. So that's been pretty good. And then when it comes to socially transitioning, because people don't like to speak on that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that is very important, and it can be hard. It can be hard, especially when it came for me in my case. I can say I was one of the first ones in Buffalo to do it socially and on social media, and people could see it. And at the time when I started transitioning, I was over 500 pounds. So during that whole thing of me transitioning, I also had weight loss surgery as well. And I will say this to all my bigger guys out there, that weight do matter when you transitioning. I feel like I wasn't seeing any changes when I was bigger. And that's another reason why I did have weight loss surgery because, well, one of the reasons why I had weight loss surgery, one of them being top surgery, because my doctor, I had that 1 year mark, my doctor was like, I'm going to be real. Ain't no surgeon gonna do top surgery on you. You too big. You too much of a high risk. I'm like, all right. But at the same time, my body was producing too much estrogen. And no matter how much testosterone I was pumping in me, it was killing it. That estrogen was eating it up like it was nothing. So it really wasn't getting into me how it is now when I don't have all that weight on me. But socially doing it was up and down, up and down. Some people accepted it, some people didn't. And it's not for the weak, I'll tell you that, because I done lost some friends, cousins, aunties, because they still want to misgender and want to make jokes and things of that nature. And I'm firm in who I am. I'm very firm in who I am. I get this might be who you used to know, but this is who I am today. And if you respect me like I respect you, my pronouns are he, him, and his, and my name is Bob. Simple. But yeah, I say give people time. And for real, when it came to me, when it came to that situation, the only person I gave time to was my mother. And I gave her a nice amount of time. And to be honest with you, I am proud of my mom. Like to this day, she calls me her son. She don't let nobody say nothing different. He, him, his, all that. So if she can get it,
Anybody can get it.
okay, come on.
I got you. Let's go. Let's
Mhm.
go back for a minute. You said that when you first learned about transitioning, you had no idea that it was possible from female to male. What was that moment or that shift, or when you gained that knowledge and you figured it all out?
I was ecstatic. I was happy. I'm like, I can actually be comfortable. Like, I will be able to be the person I always knew. I'm not crazy. I'm not going crazy. I know I was born a female and I always want to be a boy, but I'm not crazy. I can be this boy, like real life boy, facial hair, voice deep, no chest. Like, I can really be this boy. It was happy, man. I was happy. Happy as all get out.
How'd you figure it out though? Did somebody tell you? Was it something that you read or what?
I really want to say I possibly seen something on Facebook and somebody was like FTM and it had a picture of them in the past life and it had a picture of them to this day. And I'm like, wait, is that his sister? Like I'm confused. I'm like, what is this? So I see FTM and I looked it up and I put FTM, what does FTM mean? And it said female to male. And I'm like, huh? And then I start reading the definition. I'm like, oh, yeah. Went on YouTube, FTMs. I'm like, yo, what? This is crazy. And that's where it started from.
I'm glad whatever that moment was, that moment that you received it, that you was able to take it and end up being who you are today. And it's not even
For
about being
sure.
who you are today. It's just like being authentic in how you already felt in the first place. It's just being
Yeah,
able to show it outward, right?
for
Um,
sure.
so another thing that you said that you was over 500 pounds. Congratulations to the weight
Yeah.
loss, right? So I know when I was getting ready to have top surgery, I wasn't 500 pounds, but I was overweight. And so the doctor made
Mhm.
me feel like shit for one of like, oh, you need to lose weight before you had this top surgery. I hate that. So any doctors that's listening,
Mhm.
stop telling people that. Like that hurt. You know what I mean? It's like,
It do.
what this weight got to do with me wanting to be who I want to be? I mean, yes, it has its medical implications, right? But at the same time, it's like, just don't say that. It ain't right. So what I'm trying to say is, what would be your advice to someone that's like, I'm a larger person and this is a goal that I have for my life. What would be the advice you would give?
I I hate to tell people like go get weight loss surgery, but if if you have tried, because I'm one of them people that did try, I did Weight Watchers, I did no carbs, like I literally was doing all these diets, personal trainers, all of this stuff, and it wasn't coming off. And to be real with you, I was a very active, heavy set person. I was a CNA on a long term dementia care unit, working 12 hours a day. At the time, I lived in this little studio that was up on the fourth floor, no elevator. Had to walk up all them stairs
Oh
every
no.
day. Did not drive. I didn't drive. Caught the bus to and from work. Like I wasn't lazy at all. I wasn't sitting at home just eating, and I used to party like what? For real, I used to party too. So it just wasn't coming on for me. And I was just like, you know what? If this gonna help, what do I got to lose? I might as well. And to be honest with you, it's one of the best decisions I've ever made because there was things that I couldn't do, like because of my weight, my size. And to this day, I've been able to do things that I thought I would never be able to do because of my size. You know what I mean? So hey, man, even going to Old Navy now and getting clothes, that's exciting. For real.
Yeah, that's
I
no
used to have
joke
to go
though.
to DXL. I used to have to go to DXL, pay
Yeah,
$60, $70 for some off-brand pants.
yeah,
Just a pair of pants. So yeah, I
yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I definitely been there. When you go into that one store you ain't never been in before, and you like, and
Hmm.
I can fit a shirt in here. That's it. Just hit different. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
different for somebody that ain't never been there, and then all of a sudden you could go in there. Yeah, it definitely hit different. I feel you on that one.
yeah,
Yeah. So your mom is very supportive now. What was
yeah.
her switch? What do you think switched for her?
Honestly, I feel like her switch was seeing it, seeing me transition, seeing me go from she to he, and the company I kept, if that makes sense. Like everybody around me was supportive. Nobody misgendered me. So like if she was to be the one around and she was to call me she would be looking stupid.
Mm,
Because everybody be like, who are you talking about? Because she's done that before.
yeah.
And that's why I say that. Like she's done that before and everybody's in the because I had weight loss surgery. When I had weight loss surgery, I had talked to all of my doctors and told them prior to, um, my legal name is, but this is my preferred name. My pronouns are he and him. I'm transgender. You know what I mean? And they were very respectful of it. The doctor, the nurses, everybody knew. And I want to say my mom came in and she kept calling me she and my passing. And when she said it, everybody was like, who is she talking about? Like, who is she talking about? So I feel like that one situation, plus she sees it. And every time, oh, you look just like your dad. Oh, you look just like your dad. So I feel like she sees it and she's just like, I can't. Like, I'll be lying to myself.
Yeah. I know when I had my top surgery, I didn't allow my mom to come see me because I didn't want her to be misgendering me. So she asked me the night before, she was like, I'm coming. I was like, no, you ain't. She's like, well, why not? Everybody else going. I said, yeah, the people that's going are loving and supportive to me. I don't want to hear that she all damn day. I don't want to hear that. It's
Yeah.
my day, and I don't want to focus on me being misgendered. I don't want to focus on an anxiety of you. No, you ain't coming. So
Yeah.
I didn't let her come.
I
She was
feel
kind
that.
of butthurt about it, and she has slowly shifted and changed over the years. Of where she don't say he though. I ain't gonna even lie. She won't say son, but she also won't misgender me. She'll just call me by my name, or she'll just
Oh,
start talking, and that'll work too. That's
yeah.
cool with
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? However
Yeah.
it worked for you, just don't fuck it up, right?
Yeah. 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 For sure.
Yeah. So let's get into this. So in the introduction, I said that you were a cannabis influencer, right? And you're also an adult herbalist. Please
Yes,
speak
sir.
on that. Speak more on that.
Cannabis is a powerful herb. I don't even like to say drug because it's not a drug, y'all. Well, so it depends on how you look at it. Um, I am a medical patient as well, so I do know the medical side of it. I have anxiety and PTSD, and I don't know. When it comes to cannabis, it's just a love. Like I've never seen something bring so many people together and it not be no issues. You know what I mean? Like a room full of stoners is love compared to a room full of alcoholics.
Mm.
Real
Yeah,
stuff.
that's real. You think about it. Yeah.
Like real stuff. And I tell people all the time, listen, they sell alcohol and tobacco to us legally once we become a certain age. And we know for a fact alcohol and tobacco will kill us. Why do you think they're making us fight so hard for cannabis to be recreational everywhere? Because it's not killing us. It usually goes medical first. And when it goes medical, it's because it's helping. Is helping with Crohn's disease, cancer, AIDS patients, anxiety, PTSD. The list continues. The list continues. But they're holding it back. Why?
Why?
Because
Tell me.
it's helping. Because it's really helping.
Mm,
Government don't want us to get help, especially not from the weed.
mm.
And then for real, the only reason why they are going recreational now to this day that I feel it, the government done seen how lucrative this industry is. They thought they was getting something from the hustlers on the street. Let's legalize it. Do you know how much they getting? And then when you legalize it, you got to pay taxes. You got to pay state taxes and federal taxes.
Yeah.
Mm,
All that.
all that.
Is it legal where you are in North Carolina?
Mm. I mean, I think it's definitely medical, but it's not recreational yet. But
Okay.
they are talking about in the works. And I tell people all the time, if it's not in your state right now, give it a year or two. It's gonna be coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everywhere is going to be recreational because the government has found a way to get money and they can benefit from it. And they controlling the licenses.
Which is a good and bad thing, though, right? Because we talk about how many people of color are involved in this licensing, how many trans folks, how many, I mean, all of
Yeah,
that, right? So, how deep
yeah.
in it are you? Like, do you have a business?
I don't have a business per se. I'm just a specialist. I help people through their journey. I can guide you. I can, I'll put it like that. I guide people and I help them through their cannabis journey and finding what they want, but no business yet per se. It is something that I have been trying to put together and wanting to do because it is very important to me to see other people like me in the industry, which I don't see at all. And when I say people like me, black and trans, I don't see many at all. Like I do know Big Frida is in the cannabis industry, but she's not trans. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I pray. I pray that one day I can get legal and licensed. I'm trying to do things now to get legal and licensed and working to go towards that, but they making it very hard for us. You know what I mean?
That's like anything, right? To make it
Hmm.
extra hard for us. So,
Yes, they
so
are.
speak more on your business, the business aspect of it that you do. So I saw on your Instagram, Smoke Up Buffalo. What is that?
Smoke a Buffalo. How can I put it? It's like dispo. Just go on wheels, but we more so do events. We can carry everything from Eddie's Kool-Aid, concentrate, um, flowers, you name it, we can get it in. But I will say we are very limited. Like I don't take on everybody. I don't service everybody. I don't. I just don't. And it's just because like everybody money ain't good. You know what I mean? Just because they got money, I don't need the business. Like it don't even be worth it. And the way I do things, it's more so an experience rather than your plug or a dispo. It's real life and experience. I literally almost every person I work with, every person that I speak with that are clients, patients, as we like to say of ours, um, I can tell you about them, what they like, what they look for, what's going on. If they have back pains, you know what I mean? I can literally break everything down. And I like that. I like that it's so hands on and it's so, I can tell you about everyone and know exactly what they like. So,
So is this kind of like is it kind of like a party planning type of thing where you planning an event and it's like these people gonna be here, or are you like it's specifically catered to a person? Okay.
it's just a person. Like, I have different patients and they tell me, what's going on, what they looking for, what they like. And we go from there. I tell them this is what I have right now, or you know what I mean? And simple as that.
Got you. Got you. Hey, this is Sean Aaron. I'm the founder and executive director of Dem Bois Inc. I am also the host of Dem Bois Podcast. As you may know, Dem Bois provides financial assistance to trans men of color in order for them to obtain gender-affirming surgery. We have great news. We're currently looking for volunteers to help support our programs. Our programs include our gender-affirming surgery grant program and also our personal care package program. We personally curate packages filled with personal hygiene items. Just to name a few, things like tissue, soap, towels, toothpaste, and toothbrushes. We mail them out to trans men of color across the country who may be in need of help caring for their personal hygiene needs. We are looking for volunteers to help raise funds to support our programs. Also, we're looking for someone locally to the Bay Area to help us put all of the care packages together. If our mission is something that resonates with you and you would like to help support our work, just let us know. You can send an email to hello@dembois.org. That is HELLO@DEMBOIS.org. And we will get back to you with further details. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the next episode. So widely, people try to discredit cannabis, right? The cannabis industry. Maybe they were a teenager and like, oh, we use, I'm gonna say cannabis. We use weed or we use cannabis to get high. So that's what people doing with it now. They're just getting high. How would you speak to somebody? Be like, it's beyond that. It's different from that. What would be your way of communicating that to somebody?
Simply as that. It's not how it used to be back then. Back then, people smoked weed and was uneducated on it. And back then, we probably what we call Zaza and loud wasn't even as easy to get as it is now. Cause I remember when I was first smoking weed, it was like not reg, but like AZ. You get a quarter for like $50, but it was fire. But that's what we used to smoke back then. And if you wanted loud was like $50 an eighth. That was like that's top tier. You know what I mean?
Break that down for folks listening that is not familiar with that. So AZ and then loud. What would those?
So you got different types of flowers. When I say flowers, weed, you got Kush, regular, reg, AZ, loud, Zaza. But in all honesty, you got outdoors, you got indoors, you got exotics, you got cocoa soy organic grows, you got hydroponic grows where it's just growing out of water. Like it's so many types of different grows you can do now to this day. Probably half of that wasn't even thought of back then. Like being completely honest, like yeah, like
or
it's
even the
strange.
terminology for it, right?
Yeah, Definitely.
So there's different strands, different benefits. You want to speak more on that for folks that's like, you know what, I've been thinking about it. Maybe I'm not a cannabis smoker, or like educate people.
When it comes to cannabis, and the classifications for like benefits, you got indica, sativa, and hybrid. Indica is going to be your downer. So when we say indica, we say couch because it's going to make you sleepy. It's going to give you the munchies. You know, it's going to put you down. And then you got sativa, which is the total opposite. It's going to keep you up. I call it the cleanup drug because you know what I mean. Like when you want to clean up and you need that boost, oh, the sativa gonna get you there. The right music, the right sativa blunt, or
Like a
whatever you
Saturday
got.
morning.
Yeah, that thing gonna keep you up, and you gonna be like, oh my lord, all of this from this. But then you got hybrids. And I like hybrids because hybrids is so versatile. You can get a true hybrid that's 50-50, which is 50 indica, 50 sativa. But you can find hybrids that's sativa dominant, meaning it's a hybrid, but the sativa is a little more than indica. So it might be 60% sativa, 40% indica. And some people like that because it's not as severe and hard as a true sativa is, but you still get those sativa benefits from that hybrid. And the same thing comes from indica dom hybrid. 60% indica, 40% sativa. Still a hybrid, but you're going to get those mild indica benefits that you will get, and it won't be as hard as an indica, a true indica. But that's like the basics. Like once you get that, you can literally guide your way through cannabis. And that even goes for edibles because edibles now are coming out and they're indica and sativa based. And, you know, you can base them off of that. I tell people all the time, start slow. Never go to concentrates first because concentrates, that's a whole different ball game. The black market, when it comes to black market on concentrates, are terrible. And the same thing for flowers too, because there's people out there selling people hemp sprayed with fentanyl, and it is killing people. And because people plugs or whatever you want to call it are not educated and don't know what to look for, don't know what to do, don't know what it smells like. You know what I mean? They're not educated on the plant themselves, but actually wanting to get a buck, and that's it.
Mm.
They're selling it to you. And you don't even know. You just paid $40 for an eighth that could possibly kill you.
How
And
much you
that's
say?
serious. $40 for an eighth
Oh, I
that
thought
could
you said
possibly kill
$4. I
you.
was gonna say I don't want shit for
Oh no.
$4. That's a trick
Oh
right
no.
there.
No,
Okay,
no,
40. I
no.
got you.
Yeah. You can pay about $40 for an eighth and it could possibly kill you. Like I literally just spoke to somebody and she said her cousin died because he smoked weed that was laced with fentanyl. Like it's serious.
That is
It's real
crazy.
life serious. Yeah. And they do the same thing with concentrates. And when it comes to concentrates, because it takes so much, you got to put butane in it and then you got to flush it out. You can't just trust anybody to do that. Real, like being completely honest. And this is something that you're consuming and you're putting into your body.
Yeah.
Just make sure your source know what your source is doing and educate it. Because again, this ain't nothing to play with. And everybody and their mama trying to get in this industry. I done seen so many people was yesterday driving buses. Today they got a logo and they make edibles. Okay, like I'm just saying.
That
I am just
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, that's real though. That's just like you wouldn't go to a doctor that just became a doctor in 2 days, right? Nah, I don't want a doctor that got C's either. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
like you
no,
got to
for
be
real.
careful where you trust in your body and your health. You know, you can't just give it away to anybody. You got to be careful because
Yeah,
everybody don't have your best interests.
and people be so like naive because it is weed, as they
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
It's weed. It's something for it's regular on the street. You always got them corner boys that yo, I got dimes, yo, I got loud, yo, I got ace that. But you still to this day gotta be careful because a lot of people don't even be knowing what
Yeah,
they got.
yeah,
For real, for real.
yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
They don't be knowing. So
Yeah,
I just tell people all the time, if you don't hear nothing else I say, make sure your plug know what they got. Know that you know what you got.
yeah.
For real. I tell my people all the time, if you feel like I don't know something. I mean, if you feel like you have to question me, because you know what? You put me on my P's and Q's. If anything, I don't know the answer. You making me research it. So guess what? Now I'm gaining the knowledge for it. So if somebody else to come across, they ask me, I know it.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. I respect it.
Yeah. So my question, you're saying that you want to get into the industry more deeply. And so as a trans man of color, how do you feel like that transition to get into the business? Because you said like, right, they pick you with their licenses. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
Honestly, I'm trying. I ain't gonna stop until I get it. That's how I feel. Like that's something I want. I want to go legal. I want to do it legally. That's my whole thing. I want to be legal. I want to be legal. I want to be legal. Because this is something I can definitely tell you I have a passion. Like I love what I do. I done saved so many lives and helped so many people and changed so many people perceptions of cannabis. Because I never forget when I first started. Some people, oh, even my mom, weed? Mm-mm. You try to sell drugs? Da, da, da. And it took for her to come to an event. I did. She had her smoke up Buffalo t-shirt. She was behind the table. She was like, oh my God, when your next one? Oh my God, you know this stuff so well. And they know, oh my God. And it was a I don't know, it was a proud moment for her. Like a lot of people just think it's a drug and it's just like, nah, man, once you know what you doing and what you talking about, man, you'll be surprised how you can help so many people with just this one plant.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. To be honest with you, my own personal belief, this is just my own personal opinion. Please, nobody get upset about my opinion. But I just think it should be legal in general. I honestly believe all drugs should be legal.
Yeah, you
Why?
choose to take
Because
it.
people gonna do it regardless. I would rather have people doing it in a responsible way, doing, just like you say, right?
Yeah,
Like, you never know what other people. I'd rather just people doing it in a responsible way because people gonna do it regardless. So
yeah.
let's just make sure everybody is doing it. I don't think people should be getting prison time for it either. I don't think
Oh,
people should
definitely,
be behind
definitely.
bars for possession. I don't. That's just me, my opinion.
Yeah,
We all have our own opinions, but I just and especially just like the epidemic across this country, just drugs and just what I mean. I feel like it can be monitored and give it to people in reasonable amounts and hey,
yeah,
government, if you want to take a little couple of dollars off the top, that's cool, but let me just do what I'm gonna do anyway, period, and leave me the hell alone.
yeah. I mean, but granted, I did remember when the government they gave out those. I don't know if it was in New York State. I think it might have been New York State. They gave out those fentanyl like packages, care packages, or something like that for people
Mhm.
that used. And I'm gonna hold you. I felt the type of way. I'm like, well, why ain't getting no 420 pack? Like, you know what I mean? It's April. Why didn't I get a 420 pack? You could have put a little pre roll, a little one hitter, a little piece of edible in there, and I would have been good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But hey, I get it. Whatever.
you can't make everybody happy though, right? That's funny. I like that. I like that. So
Yeah.
do you know any other black or any trans individuals that's in the business heavily, who own businesses that folks that um use cannabis should be supporting?
Legally, no.
Mm,
That's legal, no.
okay.
And even on the illegal side, I know it's like one other brother. I can't remember his name, and he's like, how can I say it? He and I put it he in the same boat as me. We just trying to do it right, get it right. You know what I mean? But I don't see too many of us at all in this industry. So I just be trying to get out there more. And even when it comes to community wise, I be sending out like little care packages to people within the community in the acronym. Um, like Big Frida, I sent her a care package. Laganja Stranja from RuPaul's Drag Race, I sent her a care package. Buck Angel, I actually did an interview with Buck Angel, and I sent him a care package as well. And he then became like a cool friend of mine. He like, man, whenever you go legal, let's do it. we can do a collab. You put my name on it. And I'm like, oh, that's dope. That's dope. I can't wait. Like, so I just be trying to network and get things in line. So when that day comes and it is legal, it's coming.
To go.
And it's gonna keep coming.
Yeah.
And it's gonna keep coming. Crazy, but
Yeah.
in due time. Due time in prayer.
Yeah. In prayer. I hear that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Let's go back. Let's go way back. So when we were talking about the names that chose you, so you go by Uncle Bob. Is there a reason for that? Like, how did you get that name?
Well, Bob is my name.
Yeah.
And Uncle, it was just I'm an old soul. I'm very
How old are
old.
you?
I'm not old. I'm not old. I'm only 28, but I am a very old soul. Like my friend, my best friend, she be mad when she get in the car with me. She be like, dude, turn this off. Like the whispers, the OJs, Diana Ross. That's what I listen to. Like I swear I was a pimp in my past life in the 80s or something like that, 80s, 70s. Like, cause I be listening to all that. And it's good music to me. I love it. That's me, but I'm really old. My wife called me an old man. Cause I am.
You know how I knew you was an old soul?
How
Very
you say
first
that?
thing you said, because you said I don't go out nowhere. I was like, oh yeah, this is an old motherfucker right here. Anybody who say they don't go out, yeah, you old, yeah.
I'd rather sit in my house, pour me a drink, turn my music on, and kick it in the house. Cause I don't know, the world ain't safe no more. Real, like being honest, you could be at the corner store, you could be driving down the street. Anything can happen at any time. Granted, I do go out occasionally, but even if I go out now, by 1:30, not even 12:30, when everybody coming in, I'm walking out. Once it get too packed, let's get out of here because
Yeah.
it's always something bound to happen. Like it's always something that's gonna happen, and I just don't be having time for that. I just want to have a good time, enjoy myself, and get up out of there.
Yeah, I hear that. So did you have you had any gender affirming surgeries?
I've had top surgery.
Mm.
Um, I do want bottom surgery, but me and my wife want to have kids, and she's never. We just don't know if she can conceive. She's never been pregnant before, so we want to wait it out and see before I do what I do
Mm.
and do the whole bottom surgery because I will. And I told her, and I've been very open. I think I talked about that with Buck.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I will. I will carry
Yeah,
definitely.
carry.
Yeah, I would. I would put it like this. I would carry. I would want to have one child of us carrying because I do want to adopt kids, especially kids with like special needs. I feel like it is so hard for them when they're in adoption to go to a home, like a good home that's actually going to take care of them and not looking to just get their check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely want to adopt the kids with special needs, but I want me and my wife to be able to experience the actual somebody being pregnant, late night cravings. Oh, my feet hurt. You know what I mean? Like actually
Yeah.
experience that. I would rather it be her, but if in the event she cannot, and we done tried everything we can, I'll do it.
Let's talk about that.
Definitely.
Let's talk about that actually, because not too many
I know.
trans
I know.
men
We'll do it. Yeah.
will openly say that and will openly do that. Let's talk about that. Like
Because you know
let's
why
talk
they
about it.
won't do that?
Why?
They won't do it because they're worried about how society sees them. And to be honest with you, I am comfortable with who I am. I know exactly who I am. I was born with these parts, okay? So if me and my wife want to use them so we can have kids, that is our business. That ain't none of our business. It is what it is. Like, why you not questioning I'm not even gonna say, yeah, a lesbian that goes out and get pregnant. Y'all not questioning her because she just feminine or whatever the case may be. I have these parts. Whether I am trans or cisgender and I present as I was born as, these are our parts. And I'm going to use them how I see fit.
Because they're yours.
Yeah, I'm not telling you what to do with your parts. So don't worry about what I'm doing with my parts, you know?
I love that. I love that. That's golden for sure. For
For
sure.
real.
You know what? I'm gonna be real with you. Me personally, I couldn't do it. I don't know why. I couldn't get past that stigma. I couldn't get past that. But not just the stigma though. I ain't gonna even lie to you. That has never been something I wanted to ever do in my life. And I talked on a
Yeah.
previous episode how I went through labor because I was given medicine because I wanted a IUD. And after that,
Hmm.
I said, oh, hell no. It has been proven that I knew I didn't want to do this and it ain't happening. So I will never do that. So me personally, I don't think it has anything to do with the stigma per se, even though that's a lot. That is a lot to process and a lot to deal with. Because you know what I realize nowadays, people always got some shit to say.
Yeah.
People always got something to say. And so you have
Yeah.
to really have tough skin. You have to really be secure in yourself. You have to really be sure what it is that you want for you and your partner and you and your body to stand strong against folks that always got something to say. But me personally,
Yeah.
I won't say that it's the stigma. I won't say that because I don't really live by that. But I will say that I know I don't want to go through that. I don't even like to prick my
And
damn
that's
finger.
respectable. And that's respectable too. And when it comes to my trans advocacy, I always tell people, just like everybody in this world, when it comes to being trans, we are all different. Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
What he likes is what he likes. It ain't gonna be the same in what I like. And I find myself doing that a lot, especially when it comes for, because how can I put it? I defend some of my gay brothers in the experience because I hear all the time, well, why would you transition if you're going to still like men? Okay, first,
Let's do it. Yeah.
transitioning has nothing to do with my sexuality. It has something to do with my identity, who I feel comfortable as. When I go out into this world, what I'm presenting to you, I present a male or I present a woman. You know what I mean? I'm presenting myself to you. This is who I am. But when it comes to my sexuality, just like cisgender people and living their life as what they were born as, they can be gay, they can be bisexual, they can be queer, they can be all of that. So why can't trans people be that?
Mm,
My identity has nothing to do with sexuality. You have sexuality and identity. It's two different things.
yep.
Two different things. And people be getting them confused as one. Let me tell you
Oh
fine.
yeah. And it just goes back to people minding their own goddamn business. You do what you do in your life. I won't even say do what you do in your life. Do what makes you happy. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna do what makes me happy, and we can just
Mhm.
coexist in this world. It's just too much judgment, too much everything, everybody everywhere. And I always like to say people thumbs get a whole lot of courage. People be on Instagram
Mhm.
with them little thumbs just typing shit that you would never say to
Mhm.
somebody in their face. It's like think before you
At all.
speak and let somebody live their life. If somebody is happy and being true to who they are, what can I say? Who am I?
Right.
It has
Right.
nothing to do with
True.
me. Be happy.
Very
And just
true.
like you said, our journeys are different. I won't say that I may not understand what you do. I don't have to understand it because it's not my life, right? I'm just happy
Yeah.
for you and however you do your life, and just be happy for me, however I'm doing my life over here. And that's just
That's a
it.
fact.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's a fact.
yeah, yeah. So
Definitely felt
so
that.
what advice would you give to somebody if they like, you know what? I thought about it, but I just can't get over it. I don't know if I could carry, but I really want to have a child. What would be your advice to somebody to kind of like get over that blockage or that little hump?
I mean, real to be honest with that type of situation, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I feel that's really how I feel. If it's not for you, it's not for you. And there's so many different ways because if you say, for instance, you and your partner can't carry because you know what I mean. If your partner can't carry, your partner isn't able to carry like because they don't have a uterus and stuff like that. You know, you can get a surrogate. You can do adoption. There's so many different ways of having a child. But for me, that's what I'm going to do because I want to have that moment with my wife. I want us to experience that. But it ain't going to be me first. We're going to try her to the extreme. You know what I mean? Like, we going to
You
make
like you the
sure.
last resort. Make me the last resort.
The very last,
I
the
got you.
very last.
I got you. I got you. But I
Hmm.
commend you for speaking on that and the willingness to do that. Because you're right. Like if you choose to do it and you got the parts, why not? Right. You know,
Yeah,
and I commend you for that. And I hope it happened either way. You know, I really love to see folks have children that really want to bring children into this world.
Yeah.
Children is a blessing. My son is not a baby anymore, but he's about to be 26.
Oh,
But,
wait.
yeah, but I think raising a child and bringing somebody into this world is very it's a powerful thing. Powerful. So this is the part of the show then where I like to ask the guest a random question. I got a list of questions. I'm still at 29 questions now. I haven't came up with any new ones recently, but these are all random. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night. I'm like, ooh, that's a good question. And I wake up, grab my phone, put it on the list. So the questions may or may not have anything to do with what we talked about today. So just pick a number between 1 and 29 and I'll read you that question.
20.
Okay, so this was a question that was actually brought up by a listener. And so this person's name is Question, and they're from Bozeman, Montana. And so the question was, what has it been like being seen and treated as a Black man?
Oh, Jesus. It has its ups and downs. I will be honest. It has its ups and downs because in certain aspects, you get that like manpower, like that male privilege. You get that male privilege. You get that. But for the most part, I'm gonna be real. It be rough. It be scary because especially when it comes to the cops in the industry that I'm in, doing what I do, it be rough. Like, granted, I never forget. I ended up going to jail for a blunt in a car in Pennsylvania, and I was terrified. I was in a hick town. It was the beginning of my transition, and how can I put it? Even with me not having a deep voice, not having facial hair, I still told people, "Hey, I know what this thing say. I know what this documentation say, but is he him, Bob?" And when I went to jail, I thought they was gone. Ooh wee, because you gotta understand, this hick town, it was like 500 people population, and out of the 500, only 6 of us, if not five, was Black, and we were there because we were traveling nurses. We would get watched while we were in Walmart, any grocery store we went into. It was just terrible. So when I ended up going to jail, I'm like, yo, they gonna get me. I might not see it in the morning, but surprisingly, and I will say this, surprisingly, it was it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like, they were very respectable. The guy who took me in, he called me he said him. He called me my preferred name. When we got to the holding cell, I guess you want to say. I ain't never been to jail, but then the holding cell, it was a lady that came up and she was like, "Hey, I know what you prefer to be, but because your documentation says you're legally still a female, I have to pat you down. And, I have to do your check." And I'm just like, all right, that's cool. I respect that. And she even pulled me to the side and it wasn't like done in front of everyone. You know what I mean? So I can say I respected it, but it's still like just being a Black man in society in general, whether you trans or cisgender, it's scary.
Yeah.
It is.
That is definitely for sure scary. And I actually talked about this in my episode. I believe it was episode 5, Transforming Masculinity. I actually answered this question
Mhm.
that was presented. And everything that you're saying, except for the jail part, I've never been arrested. Well, I have been arrested. I'm lying, when I was 18, but that's a whole nother story.
Another story. I already know.
But the one thing for me about being a Black man, I'm gonna say that one thing that worries me is probably about the same thing that you said, is about the police. And now it's like with my license has changed, everything has changed. So it's not,
Mhm.
you don't get to explain, hey, wait a minute, no,
Mm-mm.
it's just on site, right? And it can
Mhm.
be very scary, very dangerous. And it's different
Mhm.
from walking around as a Black woman, even though Black women get the same, but it's different as a Black man. it's you seen as dangerous and it's just and violent, or
Yeah.
do something to somebody. So it plays tricks on your psyche, really. And just for
Mm-hmm.
people that's listening who are non-Black folks or who may be allies or whatever, when you see somebody and you lock your door or you grab your purse, we see that.
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, it fucks with your mind. It really does. That somebody can portray you as something of ready to do something you had no idea of
No
thinking of
intention
doing. Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
And
So
yeah, I gotta agree with that. I
yeah, it fucks
definitely,
with your psyche for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, any advice that you would like to give someone? Any advice, anything that you would like to say to the folks that's listening?
I always say, let people be people. That's like my number one thing. Let people be people. Simple. Just let people be people. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, keep it
If
moving.
it's three major F's in my life, okay? Feeding, fucking, and financing. Okay? You're not doing none of the three. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
And on that note, that's a good place to close. Bob, thank you so much for being a guest on the
Always.
show. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your story.
Sure, appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
For real.
for sure.
Thank you for listening to today's show. Once again, I'm your host. My name is Sean Aaron. Be sure to be sure to share this show out with folks in your networks. If you would like to connect with us, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can also visit our website at dembois.org. That's DEMBOIS.org. If you think you will make a great guest on the show, or maybe you have a question for myself or a future guest that you would like to hear answered on the show, please send an email to hello@dembois.org. That's HELLO@dembois.org. Until next time, take care.